You will not believe what just went down in the King Von case. Because the person behind the murder charges, yeah, they just walked free. Fans are absolutely shocked, emotions ran sky high, and the streets are buzzing with questions nobody's ready to answer. How did this even happen? Was it a legal loophole, shady deals, or something way deeper? The family is left divided, friends are pointing fingers, and the entire community is left wondering if justice really has been served. And trust me, this isn't just another court update. This is a full-blown drama explosion that's shaking up everything we thought we knew about the case. From heated arguments behind closed doors to unexpected betrayals that nobody saw coming, this story just flipped the script in a way that has everyone talking. So buckle up, because what I'm about to share will have you questioning loyalties, alliances, and the true meaning of justice in the King Von saga. You don't want to miss this. Stay tuned, because the real story? It's way crazier than what's on the headlines. The moment the courtroom doors swung open, the tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. Everyone was on edge. Fans packed. Outside, cameras flashing. While inside, the family sat frozen. Some holding back tears, others biting their lips in disbelief. When the judge announced that the accused, the person charged with King Von's murder, was walking free, the room erupted. Emotions ran high, anger boiling over as the reality sank in. Justice had not been served. But this was just the beginning of a storm that was about to blow the lid off everything we thought we knew. "This can't be real," muttered Von's younger sister, her voice shaking. "He took Von's life. How is this allowed?" Across the courtroom, a close friend whispered fiercely, "There's something going on behind the scenes. This doesn't add up." Rumors had already been swirling for weeks. Whispers of hush, money, shady witnesses, even secret deals with people no one dared mention out loud. But now, with the killer out, all those whispers became screams. The family was left divided, like never before. Von's mother, still mourning her son, wanted to fight this verdict, to push for an appeal. "We won't stop until the truth is out," she declared, eyes blazing with fierce determination. But Von's father, worn down by years of grief and legal battles, was more cautious. "We have to be smart," he argued quietly in a family meeting later that day. "Getting angry won't help us. We need a plan." This clash of emotions sparked heated arguments behind closed doors, fracturing what little peace they had left. Friends and fans took to social media, their outrage pouring out in real time. Hashtags calling for justice trended nationwide. But with the killer free, the tone quickly shifted from mourning to fear. If they let him go, what does that mean for Von's legacy? One fan asked on Twitter, her words echoing a growing anxiety. Others speculated that Von's enemies might see this as an invitation to escalate the violence. The streets felt more dangerous than ever. Amidst this chaos, a bombshell revelation surfaced. A leaked audio recording allegedly capturing a conversation between a key witness and the defense attorney. In it, the witness expressed doubts about their own testimony, hinting they were pressured to change their story. "I'm scared," the voice said. "They said if I don't cooperate, something bad will happen." Suddenly, the entire trial was under suspicion. Was the killer really innocent, or was justice being sold to the highest bidder? This revelation sent shockwaves through the community. Von's closest friends gathered in a late-night meeting, voices raised in frustration and disbelief. "We trusted the system," said one longtime friend. "Now it feels like everything was a setup." Another friend, trying to hold back tears, added, "Von deserved better. We all do." Their pain was raw, their anger palpable, but beneath it all was a desperate need for answers. Meanwhile, the accused seemed almost untouchable. Seen leaving the courthouse with a smirk, surrounded by a small group of supporters, the killer's confidence sparked fury among Von's fans. "This is a slap in the face," said a fan who'd traveled from out of state just to attend the hearing. "How can someone who took a life walk free like this?" The question hung in the air, unanswered but demanding attention. But then came an unexpected twist. An anonymous tip sent to a local news station claimed to have new evidence. surveillance footage from a nearby building showing someone else at the scene during the time of Von's death. This footage, if verified, could change everything. The tipster warned that powerful people might try to bury it, but promised the truth was out there. Suddenly, the narrative shifted again, reigniting hope for those who believed justice was still possible. The family was thrown into a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. Von's mother clung to this new lead like a lifeline, organizing meetings with private investigators and pushing the media to dig deeper. "We won't let Von's story end like this," she vowed in a rare interview, her voice thick with determination. But others within the family worried the renewed attention could reopen wounds and drag out the pain even longer. At the same time, the accused's camp went on the offensive. Their lawyers denied all allegations of misconduct, calling the trial fair and just. They painted Von's friends and family as desperate for a scapegoat. "Our client has been through enough," one attorney said. "This verdict reflects the truth as it was presented in court." Their calm, measured response only fueled the fire, making the divide even deeper. But the real drama unfolded behind the scenes where loyalties shifted like sand. Close associates of King Von began to question one another, accusations flying over who might have leaked information or sabotaged the case. "Someone within the circle betrayed us," a longtime friend confessed in a private conversation. Voice low and filled with bitterness. "This isn't just about the trial anymore, it's about survival." This paranoia fractured the once tight-knit group, turning friends into suspects overnight. Fans watched this unraveling with a mixture of horror and fascination. Live streams filled with tears, angry rants, and pleas for calm flooded platforms. Some fans accused the family of hiding secrets. Others accused the media of sensationalizing the tragedy. It became clear that the King Von saga was no longer just a case. It was a cultural event, a drama unfolding live in the public eye, with stakes higher than ever. As the days passed, new names surfaced in connection with the case. Old rivals, shady characters from Von's past, and even members of law enforcement allegedly involved in a cover-up. Whispers about bribes and threats circulated in underground circles, painting a picture of corruption deeper than anyone wanted to admit. "This is more than a murder case," said a local journalist who's been following the story closely. "It's a story about power, loyalty, and betrayal on every level." The most heart-wrenching moments came when Von's younger cousins publicly confronted each other in an emotional Instagram live session, their voices cracking as they exchanged blame and heartbreak. "You don't understand what Von meant to us," one cried. "Why did you say those things about Mom?" The other shot back. Fans watched helplessly as the family's pain spilled out into the open, exposing wounds that may never fully heal. Yet through all this, one thing remained certain. King Von's legacy was bigger than the court's verdict. Murals appeared. Across the city, memorial events were organized, and his music soared in streams as fans kept his memory alive. "Von wasn't just a rapper," said one close friend in an emotional interview. "He was family, and no court can take that away." This fierce love kept the fight for justice alive, even as the official story seemed to crumble. And just when everyone thought the drama couldn't get any more intense, a shocking new player entered the scene. A mysterious figure claiming to have evidence that could finally prove who really killed King Von. No one knew their identity or motives, but the promise of the truth sent shockwaves through every corner of the community. Speculation exploded. Was this a hero, or another snake in the grass? The only thing certain was that the story was far from over. The case is hanging by a thread, a mix of broken trust, shattered families, and desperate hopes. The killer walks free, but the hunt for answers is just heating up. Fans and family alike are caught in a whirlwind of emotions, wondering who to believe, what really happened, and if justice will ever be served. This is more than a trial. It's a saga that's rewriting the rules of loyalty, betrayal, and revenge. And as the truth hides in the shadows, one question remains: who will bring it to light? The streets were buzzing louder than ever as news of the anonymous figure promising new evidence spread like wildfire. Everyone was talking, some hopeful, some suspicious. Was this a genuine whistleblower, or just another player trying to stir the pot? Inside the family, the atmosphere was tense. Von's mother stayed relentless, reaching out to private detectives and reporters, desperate to get her hands on any shred of proof. "This could change everything," she said, eyes tired but fierce. Meanwhile, Von's father was quieter, more guarded. "We can't let false hope blind us," he warned in a rare moment of restraint, fearing another heartbreak. But outside, the drama only escalated. Social media exploded with debates and conspiracy theories. Some fans claimed the new player was actually a close associate of the accused, trying to muddy the waters and save a guilty man. Others believed the evidence might finally reveal the real mastermind, someone no one had suspected before. "If this is true, it could blow the whole case wide open," said a popular YouTuber covering the saga. Fans dissected every clip, every post, looking for clues or slips of truth. Inside the circle of Von's closest friends, trust was near impossible to find. A private group chat leaked to the public revealed a barrage of heated messages. One friend accused another of withholding critical information during the trial. "Why didn't you tell us about what you saw that night?" they demanded. The accused friend fired back, "I was scared of what would happen if I spoke." Emotions ran so high that some members threatened to walk away from the whole fight, exhausted and broken. "This isn't what Von wanted," one whispered during a late-night phone call, voice cracking. At the same time, Von's cousins, who'd already publicly clashed, seemed to be digging deeper into family secrets. Whispers about long-held grudges and betrayal within the family surfaced, hinting at motives nobody expected. "There's more to this than just the trial," said one relative, barely able to contain their anger. These revelations shocked fans, who had always viewed Von's family as united in grief. Now, the cracks were showing, exposing a darker side to the tragedy. Meanwhile, the accused, now free and seemingly untouchable, was making moves of his own. Sightings at local clubs and parties sparked outrage among fans, many calling him out online and in person. One incident at a popular Chicago venue almost turned violent when a Von supporter confronted him. Security had to step in as emotions flared. "How dare he celebrate while Von's family is still hurting?" a fan shouted, tears streaming down her face. But the accused kept a calm, almost smug demeanor, seemingly daring anyone to challenge him. The legal battle wasn't over either. Von's mother filed an appeal to reopen the case based on the new evidence tip, but the court's response was slow and frustratingly bureaucratic. "We're running out of time," her attorney warned. The delay only fueled frustration and rumors that the system was working against them. Some began to suspect that key players in law enforcement might be obstructing justice for reasons still unknown. "There's a lot of power involved here," a source close to the case admitted. "And that power doesn't want the truth to come out." In a stunning twist, a former gang member turned informant stepped forward with explosive claims. He alleged that Von's murder was part of a bigger plan involving rival crews and corrupt cops. "This was never just about Von," he said in a secret interview. "They wanted to send a message." The informant claimed that the killer was a pawn, used to cover up a much larger conspiracy. The community was shaken. Were they being manipulated? And if so, by who? This revelation sparked heated debates in local radio shows and podcasts. Some called for immediate federal investigations, while others warned against jumping to conclusions without solid proof. The lines between truth and rumor blurred even further as people picked sides, often based on loyalty rather than facts. One popular host summed it up best. "This case isn't just about crime, it's about survival, respect, and power in a city that's been through too much already." Amidst the chaos, Von's friends struggled to keep their collective focus. They organized memorial events and charity drives in Von's name, hoping to channel their pain into something positive. But behind closed doors, the pressure was immense. One close friend confided, "Every day feels like a battle, not just against those who hurt Von, but against the ones we thought were family. The emotional toll was visible, with several friends seeking counseling and stepping back from the spotlight. Fans, too, felt the strain. Live streams and comment sections became battlegrounds for conflicting emotions. Grief, anger, hope, and despair all tangled together. Some called for peace and unity, while others demanded blood and retribution. The AMS community was fractured, caught between wanting to honor Von's memory and the raw pain of betrayal and loss. "It's like we don't even know who we are anymore," one fan wrote. "Von brought us together, but now everything is falling apart." At the same time, a small but vocal group of conspiracy theorists gained momentum. They claimed that Von's death was staged, that the real King Von was alive somewhere else, hiding from danger. Though dismissed by most, these theories found fertile ground among desperate fans unwilling to accept the grim reality. "We have to believe there's more to the story," one supporter posted. "Von isn't gone." The sheer intensity of these beliefs added another layer of complexity to an already tangled saga. Neared its close, another major development shook the case. A surprising confession from an unexpected source. A former police officer who'd worked on the original investigation came forward with allegations of evidence tampering. Critical footage disappeared, he claimed. Reports were altered. The whistleblower's revelations added fuel to the fire, with many questioning if the entire investigation had been compromised from the start. The accused supporters called it a desperate smear campaign, while Von's camp saw it as proof that justice had been stolen. The family's divide deepened as members took sides on how to handle these new claims. Von's mother wanted to go public with the whistleblower's story immediately, pushing for media coverage and public pressure. "The world needs to know what really happened," she insisted. Others urged caution, fearing it could backfire and damage the appeal process. The tension was palpable, with late-night arguments and emotional confrontations becoming the norm. Fans watched every update, every leak, every drama unfold, caught in a rollercoaster of hope and heartbreak. Was justice finally within reach, or was the whole case destined to remain a dark mystery? One thing was clear. The killer walking free wasn't the end of the story. The fight for truth was far from over, and the fallout was only getting messier. With new evidence, new accusations, and a community divided, the King Von saga was now a saga of survival, secrets, and a search for justice that refused to die. The revelation from the former officer had shaken the entire community. Suddenly, the narrative shifted from a simple trial to a tangled web of corruption and cover-ups that no one saw coming. Fans, friends, and family were all forced to reconsider what they thought they knew. "If the system is dirty, who can we trust?" one fan asked during a heated live stream. Emotions ran high as everyone grappled with the idea that justice might have been sabotaged from the start. Inside Von's family, the atmosphere was electric with anxiety and mistrust. Late one night, Von's mother sat down with her closest, advisors and private investigators. "We need to expose every dirty cop involved," she said, her voice steady but fierce. "This isn't just about Von anymore. It's about cleaning the whole system." But even among her circle, doubts lingered. "What if they come after us next?" one advisor warned quietly. The weight of fear mixed with determination, creating a volatile environment. Meanwhile, Von's father, still trying to hold the family together, made a public plea for calm. "We're better than the violence and betrayal," he said during a heartfelt interview. But privately, he wrestled with his own demons. "I just want peace for Von," he confessed to a friend, voice heavy with exhaustion. The family's fractured unity was on full display, with members drifting apart, each coping with grief and anger in their own way. The accused's camp saw the new allegations as a golden opportunity to push their narrative of innocence. Their lawyers argued that the supposed tampering was nothing more than a desperate attempt to sway public opinion. "The truth was clear in court," one attorney declared. "These new claims are baseless and irrelevant." The accused himself stayed silent publicly, but sources close to him said he was quietly celebrating the chaos. believing the distractions would help him slip away unscathed. As if the drama wasn't enough, an explosive new twist came from one of Von's former collaborators, a rapper who had been close to Von but recently cut ties amid rumors of jealousy and betrayal. In an exclusive interview, he claimed to have inside knowledge of a secret meeting the night of the shooting. There was more going on than anyone knew, he said cryptically. People you trust can turn on you in seconds. This revelation sent shockwaves through the fanbase, sparking fresh speculation about who might have been involved behind the scenes. The streets buzzed with new gossip and theories. Some fans believed this rapper was trying to clear his own name, while others thought he might be dropping clues to finally expose the real killer. "If you've got proof, speak up," one fan challenged on Instagram. The tension between loyalty and suspicion grew unbearable, with many wondering if the drama inside the music scene was spilling dangerously into the streets. In the midst of all this, a viral video surfaced showing a heated confrontation between Von's longtime friend and another key witness from the trial. The two exchanged accusations, with voices rising and fingers pointed. "You lied in court," shouted one. "I did what I had to," screamed the other, tears streaming down both their faces. Fans watched the raw footage, stunned by the emotional toll and the unraveling of what once seemed like unbreakable bonds. Meanwhile, investigators working for Von's family followed leads that took them deep into the city's underground. Tips came from unexpected places: former gang members, disillusioned cops, even anonymous neighbors who had seen strange things that night. Each new piece of information added complexity to the case, revealing a network of alliances and betrayals that was nearly impossible to untangle. "This isn't just one person's story," one detective said. "It's a web." But not everyone wanted the truth to come out. Mysterious threats began targeting Von's family and close friends. Anonymous messages warned them to stop digging or suffer the consequences. Security concerns grew as some supporters stepped back, fearing for their safety. "This fight is bigger than we thought," one friend whispered. The pressure was mounting, and the stakes had never been higher. Through it all, Von's music remained a beacon of hope and resistance. Memorial concerts and tribute events were held in his honor, bringing fans together despite the chaos. "His voice still speaks louder than the noise," said a fan at one such event, tears glistening in her eyes. But beneath the celebrations was a simmering pain. The pain of a legacy complicated by unanswered questions and a justice system that seemed broken. Neared its end, a new bombshell hit the news. A leaked confidential report from the police department outlining serious misconduct during the original investigation. The report detailed how key evidence was mishandled, witnesses intimidated, and critical timelines altered. This document sent shockwaves through the city and reignited calls for a federal inquiry. "This changes everything," said a community leader. "We have to demand accountability." The family seized on this report, using it to fuel their fight for justice. Von's mother organized a press conference, her voice steady but fiery. "We will not rest until the truth is fully uncovered," she promised. The atmosphere was electric with a mix of hope, anger, and urgency. Fans rallied behind her, flooding social media with messages of support and calls for change. But the accused's defenders fired back with claims that the report was fabricated or taken out of context. The legal battle was escalating into a war of narratives, with both sides digging in for a long fight. "Truth is the only weapon we have," Von's mother said later in a private interview, "and we're ready to use it." As the dust settled, one thing was clear. The King Von case was no longer just about one tragic death. It had become a symbol of a larger fight. A fight for justice, truth, and respect in a city scarred by violence and betrayal. The killer might walk free for now, but the search for answers was far from over. With every new twist, the story grew deeper, darker, and more urgent. And as fans waited anxiously for what would come next, one question echoed louder than ever: who really holds the key to King Von's truth. King Von's truth. The fallout from the leaked police report hit the city like a bombshell. Suddenly, everyone was demanding answers. Politicians, activists, fans, and Von's family alike. Protests erupted outside the courthouse with chants of "Justice for Von" filling the air. The community was united in grief, but divided on trust, torn between hope and bitter skepticism. "This is what we've been waiting for," said one activist, her voice trembling with emotion. "But we have to stay vigilant." Inside Von's family, the tension remained palpable. The mother, now a fierce warrior for justice, doubled down on her efforts, hiring top lawyers and launching a public campaign to reopen the investigation fully. "We will not be silenced," she declared at a rally, her voice echoing through the crowd. Meanwhile, Von's father, though exhausted, stood firmly by her side, a steady presence in a sea of chaos. Yet the family's earlier divisions still lingered, as some members worried about the toll this battle was taking. As the public pressure mounted, more insiders came forward. A former detective, speaking anonymously, revealed details about how crucial evidence had mysteriously vanished from the case files. There were forces working behind the scenes, he said, people who didn't want this case solved. His words confirmed many fans' worst fears, that the system was rigged to protect certain powerful players. The city buzzed with outrage and renewed calls for a federal investigation. At the same time, Von's accused killer remained in the spotlight, though largely silent. His social media accounts were flooded with hate and threats, but he made no public statements. His legal team continued to fight off appeals and investigations, insisting on his innocence and attacking anyone who challenged them. Insiders whispered that behind closed doors, he was desperate and scared, knowing the noose was tightening but refusing to break his silence. Meanwhile, Von's closest friends worked tirelessly to keep his legacy alive. They released unreleased tracks, organized charity events, and kept his memory burning bright. Yet the emotional strain was heavy. One friend admitted in a rare interview, "We're all carrying this pain every day. It's hard to move forward when the truth keeps slipping through our fingers." The tension between honoring Von's spirit and chasing justice was a constant battle. In the midst of this chaos, a shocking new development turned the case on. Its head, a trusted family member, was accused of withholding key evidence and allegedly sabotaging the appeal. The accusations split the family once again, sparking fierce public debates and casting new shadows over the fight for justice. "This betrayal cuts deeper than anything," Von's mother said, tears streaming down her face during a live broadcast. "We must find out why." Fans and followers were left stunned by this revelation. Social media exploded with theories and divided opinions. Some defended the family member, calling for understanding and forgiveness, while others demanded accountability and transparency. The story became more complicated than anyone imagined, making the path to truth even more treacherous. At the same time, anonymous sources hinted at a secret meeting between rival crews, law enforcement officials, and shady businessmen, supposedly discussing ways to control the narrative and keep certain truths buried. If true, this would confirm the worst conspiracy theories surrounding Von's death. Journalists scrambled to verify the claims, but the secrecy only added to the mystery and suspicion. Through it all, the city itself seemed to hold its breath. Murals of King Von appeared overnight in unexpected places, each one a testament to the deep love and pain felt by his community. Vigils were held, tears shared, and voices raised in unison. Von's story had become more than just a case. It was a symbol of a city's struggle with violence, betrayal, and the desperate search for justice. To a close, the King Von saga stands at a crossroads. The killer walks free, but the battle for truth and justice rages on, fraught with family betrayals, legal twists, and shadowy forces working behind the scenes. Every new piece of evidence, every leaked secret, and every public outcry pulls the story deeper into a labyrinth of drama and suspense. Fans are left wondering, will the real truth ever see the light? Or is this just the beginning of a longer, darker fight? the fight is far from over. The city waits, watches, and hopes as the King Von legacy refuses to fade away, demanding justice for a voice silenced too soon. So, what's the final takeaway from this jaw-dropping King Von case update? The killer may be walking free for now, but the story is far from over. We've seen families divided, shocking betrayals, explosive new evidence, and a system that seems determined to keep the truth buried. Fans are shocked. Emotions ran high, and the entire community is holding its breath, waiting to see what happens next. Will justice finally be served? Or will the King Von saga remain a mystery lost in the shadows? Now, here's where you come in. What do you really think about all this? Is the accused innocent? Or is there a bigger conspiracy at play? Do you believe Von's family will get the justice they deserve? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your real opinions and theories. And if you're as hooked on this story as we are, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for all the latest updates, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a beat. This drama is only getting started, and you definitely want to be in the front row for every twist and turn. Stay tuned, stay informed, and as always, keep it real.